understanding your relationship blueprint. Now, this is the next key component, because again, like I said, our relationship with other people is really formed in our childhood, okay? In our early experiences with our parents, primary caregivers, that's when our sense of how we meet our authentic needs is created. That is where our sense of, values is created. That's where so many patterns and habits around relationships are learned. Not only, again, in our relationships with others, but more importantly, our relationship to ourselves is very strongly influenced by how our parents and our primary caregivers respond to our human needs when we are little tiny children, and all the way through till about the age of 11 or 12, when our subconscious is wide open, and when we're in theta, alpha and theta brainwaves, when we're wide open, that's when we're so impressionable. But that's also when how our primary caregivers respond to us has a massive impact on how we feel about ourselves. So for example, if you're a child and you cried and your parents saw that as something negative and they punished you for it, and they didn't see it as you feeling like you needed attention, or maybe you needed to be fed, or you're hungry, if they didn't meet those needs, or they had a negative response for you crying or expressing your needs, and that negative response can cause you to want to shape or repress your authentic needs and feelings in order to make sure that you maintain the attachment. Okay, the attachment being that as a child, you absolutely need your parents to survive. They need to feed you, they need to, they need to change your nappies, you rely on them for emotional safety, for sustenance. There's so much, we need so much when we're children. That also means that if those needs aren't being met, we will sometimes compromise our needs, and we'll try and shape ourselves in order to get to maintain that attachment, so that we can feel safe, connected, and we can get our needs met. And our sense of worthiness, our sense of self, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, really comes down to how well our parents or primary caregivers meet those attachment needs. Okay, whether they meet them in healthy ways, or there are dysfunctional ways of engaging with the child, that leave the child feeling like their authentic needs and feelings are not important. And that again becomes the place where a lot of beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy of love, I need to put myself last, I'm unlovable, whatever it is. A lot of those beliefs come from a fundamental feeling as a child as though we are not important, and that our needs create agitation or anxiety or stress in the parent, which leads us to start repressing those authentic needs and feelings. Now, just because you experience that as a child does not mean that you cannot work through that and find ways to heal and evolve and start meeting those needs now as an adult. We all have the possibility or the potential to go back into our subconscious programming and work on some of those core beliefs and start having inner dialogues with our inner child to really heal our relationship with the part of us that feels like we can't express our authentic needs. And obviously the more we are aware of what is these feelings and these patterns and these core beliefs, the more we can shed the light of awareness on them, the more we have the power to take back our life, our authentic self, and change these patterns so that we can express ourselves and our authentic needs and feelings and become more authentic towards ourselves and in our expression of our authentic self in relationships. So again, these are key childhood experiences, that shape our relationship blueprint, and the way we meet our human needs, our authentic human needs, the way we express ourselves or our authentic feelings or not. Okay, and like I said, traumatic experiences create a negative self-image and negative core beliefs sometimes, or negative feelings about meeting our authentic needs. Okay, and about expressing ourselves, our emotions, and who we are. Okay, so this is really important to understand this. Now, once we understand that, we can start asking some questions around our relationship blueprint. Okay? Now, this relationship blueprint, these questions that you ask, help you understand the type of relationship blueprint that you were maybe brought up with from your parents or primary caregivers, and it can be super empowering to go through this and do this. So I'm going to take you through this, and we're going to do the relationship blueprint. All right, so here are some of the questions that you can ask to help discover your relationship blueprint. Now, we all have our own unique relationship blueprint that is based on our conditioning, our childhood conditioning, and some of the key experiences we had as children with our primary caregivers and parents, and those early relationships and those key experiences shape our relationship with ourselves and our relationship that we're going to have with other people as we grow older and we become adults. And so these are some of the key questions that I use, to help clients start diving in and getting, I guess, a deeper insight of how their early formative relationships are still maybe getting in the way of their ability to have authentic relationships. Because remember, this is all about how to create authentic relationships. So when you understand your relationship blueprint, you can have much more powerful insight into why you keep recreating and attracting the similar patterns in relationships, and you start seeing your blocks, and why you do the things that you do in relationships. And that is really powerful, because that awareness is what allows you to then create change and to start reclaiming your authentic self, and also reclaim your authentic self in your relationship to others, which is super powerful. Okay, so the first question is, who did I have to be for my parents or primary caregivers to feel emotionally or physically safe? Okay, so who did I have to be for my parents or primary caregivers to feel emotionally safe or physically safe? Okay, because again, this is diving into, who do we have to be for our parents, in order to get our needs met, to feel physically safe, to feel connection, to feel like we belong? That's a really important question. Next question. What behaviors, needs, emotions, or feelings was I not allowed to express? Okay, so what behaviors, feelings, emotions, or needs was I not allowed to express? Okay, that's another really powerful question. And again, take some time to meditate on these questions. Don't just answer them straight away. Just feel into them and just really take the time to go back in your memory and just to try and remember as much as you can of how it felt. Okay, and then go from that place. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over. Next question. What behaviors did I have to express in order to feel connected and loved by my parents? Okay, so what behaviors did I have to express in order to feel connected and loved by my parents, in order to feel like I belong? Okay, what behaviors would they accept? What behaviors did they reject? Okay, because the fear of disconnection is a big driving force and a big reason why we will bury our authentic feelings. Because if we think that our feelings or our emotions or expressing that is going to sabotage our relationship because our parents or the other person can't handle it, then we're going to repress them. We're going to hold them in to try and keep that connection, instead of being authentic. Okay, and that's really important, because that can become very dysfunctional. Next question. What feelings, emotions, and behaviors was I not allowed to express? Okay, so what feelings, emotions, and behaviors was I not allowed to express? Okay, what behaviors, emotions, and feelings attracted negativity and negative response from our parents or primary caregivers, whether it be withdrawal of love or affection or punishment, criticism, anger, all of those things. Last question. What feelings, emotions, and behaviors was I allowed to express? Okay, this is important too. So sometimes we're not allowed to express, all these feelings and emotions and needs over here, but when we express certain things over here, then we get connection, we get love, we get acceptance, we get approval, we feel safe. So sometimes because of that, we shape ourselves into this, who we have to be for the parent, we might have to be really positive and upbeat all the time. And when we're positive, we get more attention and affection from our parents. And when we're negative, they withdraw their affection and they make us feel wrong for feeling negative. So again, it can be so many different things that key experiences that condition us to have these certain responses in relationships, and again in our relationship to ourselves, and our feelings of worthiness, and our core beliefs about ourselves, and our relationship with others. Okay, so all of these questions help you dive into understanding the core experiences that created your core beliefs. Okay, your patterns of relationship, and how you meet your authentic needs or how you are not meeting your authentic needs through those relationships. And if you can answer them really honestly, they are really powerful to help you transcend, some of the inauthentic things that are getting in the way of you expressing who you are authentically and creating authentic relationships. Now I'm going to go through another video series, a series of different videos on different topics. The next one I'm going to talk about is going to be relationship dynamics, and that's all going to tie into authentic relationships because there's so much to cover here. So I'm going to do that in the next video. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and share. Share in the comments below. I'd love to start a discussion. I'd love to hear what you feel, what your thoughts are, and start a discussion about this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.